All right, y'all. So I want to talk about a couple things tonight. This is just me asking questions about this stuff. That's all it is. It's just me throwing out the questions because with these things that I talk about, I think about them all the time, every day. And I obsessively think about this stuff. And I have found myself as I got older in my life, I have found myself being in these existential times, these nihilistic, existential, asking myself, why am I here? Is there anything else? Is there possibly a God? Is there possibly a soul that goes on or energy that goes on? And it's just so many things going through my head every day. And I know a lot of you think about this, but you might not talk about it, or you might not have the courage to bring it up. So I'm going to speak for us. I'm going to speak for people that don't want to talk about this. But first, I want to talk about, if you are someone, this is what we should be saying to ourselves. This is the honest answer to a question. When you are asked a question like, do you believe in God? Your answer should be, I don't know. That's what your real answer should be, even if you think that there is a God, or you say there isn't a God, and I know there isn't a God. No, you don't know that there isn't a God, and you don't know if there is a God. And if we're asked a question like, does the soul go on? We don't even know if there is a soul. So, yet again, it's, I don't know. I don't know. Do we go on after this? I don't know. Is there any reason why we're doing all of this? Why we go through this life? Why we learn what we learn? Why we go through what we go through? Why we're doing a lot of the things we do, and we ask these questions? Is there any point to it? Is there any kind of ultimate thing that is going to come of all of this in what we perceive as time in our minds? I don't know. And see, it's very hard for me to put my finger on what it is that I am going for to speak for myself with these things. But I ask myself, when I get into these existential, dreadful moments, when I think like, well, if I'm going to live and I'm going to die one day, and I just die and I'm just dead. See, the thing is about it, when I'm dead, I'm not even gonna know that I'm dead when I'm dead when I die. I'm not even gonna know that I'm dead. So it's not a good or a bad thing, because I won't know it. I am just scared of the dying part. I am scared of the part before death. I am scared of the pain and the misery and the suffering and whatever may happen before I die. You see what I'm saying? That's what terrifies me. You know, Salvador Dali, he was an artist that he was terrified of death too. And it's not that I'm terrified of being dead. I'm terrified of the dying process. That's what terrifies me. But I sit here and I think to myself, and I tell myself, if there is nothing that goes on after this, then that does mean that life is ultimately pointless. It's meaningless. It has no value whatsoever in the end. But while we're here, though, see, you have to understand, I'm not advocating, and most of you on my channel, you already know this. I don't have to explain this to you. You already know how I am if you've been listening. If you've really been listening to my videos, you know that I don't advocate absolute suffering or genocide or hurting people in a way where it's something dreadful. Now, do I don't have anything against if you are a child and you go to put your finger on a hot stove and you burn your finger. No, I advocate that because you need to learn from so that you don't touch the hot stove, because if you touch the stove, your hand can get burnt and your skin will melt off. And you have to know that for yourself. But it's not that I'm advocating the violence in it. I'm advocating the learning part of it. You see, I don't advocate violence, but there is a time, if there's someone that is picking on you, then you might have to give them a shot to the gut or a punch to the face or bloody their nose to get you off of them, to get that person to quit doing what they're doing to you. You see what I'm saying? But I don't advocate it, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes there is this kind of necessary evil, but when we talk about evil, though, we're talking about something where it's beyond just, bloodying someone's nose or punching your brother in the arm or, I don't know, slapping someone in the head or something like that. That is not ultimate evil. That is just violence. There is slight violence and there is violence that gets people killed. There is very, very bad violence. I'm not for genocidal violence, but I am for when it is time that you need to do something so that someone can learn to stop doing what they're doing to someone, then sometimes that is needed in that time. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. The more that I go on, and I find myself, this is why I get depressed. This is why I find myself getting in these times where I go, what is the point of even going on? I just want to give up, if I'm being honest. I want to completely give up. I don't even want to do anything. I just want to lay down and die, if I'm being honest. I just want to say, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I had enough. I'm done seeing this. I've seen it 1,000,001 times. I've been there. I've done it. I have the repetition drives me insane. It's lunacy. It's almost like lunacy, and to me it's kind of cruel. But on the other hand, there's a part of me that I want there to be something else. I want there to be something more. I want to think that there is something that we have absolutely no control over anything at all. Like I want to think that, but the more that I look around here and the more that I go through life and the more that I have forced myself to watch things on the animal kingdom, the more that I have watched what men and women do to one another in the name of all of these ideologies and belief systems and this grandizing aspect that they are somehow better than another human, when all you have to do to shut that down is say, what color is your blood? What color do you bleed? We all bleed red blood. We all have bones. We all are made of flesh. We all have teeth. We all have eyes. We are no different. You see, all these things are so petty. They're so petty. Race is petty. These words that we use are petty. And see, when you are someone, I am going to use the quote, the soul. When you are someone in the energy of the soul and you realize that these things are cheap, they don't mean anything anymore. When we use some of these words that we use, they don't mean nothing to the person that realizes what is really going on here or how we really are as people. And if you're being honest with yourself, what we're doing here is we are surviving. We are doing what we need to do to survive. And we are looking for things to do to distract us. We are looking for ways to live a better life so that it's not worse or it's not as bad or it doesn't get so out of hand that we can't do anything about it. That is all that we do here. And then there is the arts, there is fun activities, there is sports, there is all these things to keep us away from the fact of what is actually going on here. And that's just how it is. You know, this is what people are going to continue to do. But when you look around at this, I ask myself these questions. I say, if there is, I'm just saying if there is. That's all that I mean. If there is, let's just assume that there is a creator that made all of this and did all of this and put this into action. Let's just say there is. I ask myself the question, like, is this some kind of preparation to see? Are we like an experiment? Are we like some kind of lab rat that the creator is saying, well, I wonder what they'll think if I do this? I wonder what they'll think if some man would, or men would write some words in a book and say this and that. I wonder what they would think of that. I wonder if I sent a man to the earth named Jesus Christ and I said that I love you so much that I would literally die for you because that's how much I love you. But then besides that, see, this is not to take me serious what I'm saying. I'm just throwing metaphors out there. I'm throwing to think about this deeply because it's very hard to understand the layers underneath what I'm saying. But when you say this, when you say something like, God loved us so much that he would die to show us that he loves us in human form, then I say, okay, well then, what about the animals? What about the animals in the wild? What about these young boys and girls that get cancer and they're sick for months or years and they die horribly? What about my aunt that went through that? What about my aunt that went through this horrible cancer? It was, see, when I was younger, it didn't affect me like it does today. It didn't hit me like it does now that I have certain health issues and I have certain mental things go on and I'm coming to the fact that I'm getting older and I'm realizing more things. Seeing her bone skinny and her face just, you could see that she was in pain and agony. Her face was, you know, and I know what that feels like. I know what it is to be deathly sick. I know what it is because I had days that I was deathly sick. I know what it is to get food poisoning. I know what it is to have hepatitis C. I had that for years and years, and I took the medication and got rid of it, but I still have health issues go on with me till today. I am not altogether healthy, but what I mean is, see, here's what some people in my family said about this. They said something like, oh, well, that was God's plan. That was God's purpose for that to happen. And I can't see it like that. I just can't. But then again, I ask myself, okay, if you suffer, let's just say, and I know this sounds very cruel. It sounds cruel. I know it sounds cruel to a logical person that can think. But what if that suffering, what if that pain was for some, I'm just saying, what if it was for some, and I know this sounds very ignorant on my part, because you would say, oh no, that's bull crap anyway, and that's what I'm thinking, but I'm just saying, what if there was some ultimate reason, like some ultimate glory that she is going to have, because there is something else? I'm just saying, if there was. See, these are the questions I ask myself, but I'm not fooling myself. I'm not saying anything because I don't know. I don't know. But I ask myself, let's just say there was an eternity. Let's say there is an eternity. I don't really think most of us understand the concept of eternity. We only look at, I really think that most people only, and this is me assuming this, I don't know what people think, but the aspect of eternity is something that says, are you willing to adapt? Are you willing to change when the time is necessary to change? Are you willing to get so real with yourself? Are you willing to get so honest and so real? And are you willing to put yourself out there so much that you almost do become like a sacrifice for people on this earth, because you realize that this world is already lost anyway? It's already lost. You and I cannot win here. We cannot win here, and that's just the honest truth. We cannot win here, y'all. And I know this is an answer that people do not want. They don't want to hear those things, because those things are frightening. Those things are where all of our fear comes from. Those things are things that we don't want to accept, and then we will tell ourselves all these other things because we don't want to accept reality for what it really is. But what if, just what if, you had to pass that test in order to go on to the next phase, if there was such a thing? That's all I'm saying. And I don't know if there is. I don't know if there is. But I feel like I have passed the exam and the test. I feel like there's really nothing more for me to learn here. There's nothing. I know there's little things for me to learn. I'm talking about with the human condition. I'm talking about with how people are, and why they do what they do, and why they sing the songs they sing, why they make the movies they make, why they do everything they do. I know mankind. I know mankind too well, and I know the state of this earth. And I know that all we're doing here is we are literally hanging on for dear life. That's what we're doing. We're hanging on and we're hanging out, and we are doing the best we can until we can't do the best we can anymore. That's all we're doing here. And I ask myself, if that is all that there is to this, that is a very, very scary yet almost relieving feeling for me, because I say to myself, well, damn, this ain't gonna go on forever, Nate. This isn't going to last forever, Nate. This is going to end eventually. And it's almost like there's this metamorphosis in my mind going on where all the old things mean nothing to me, and I'm thinking completely different. I just feel like I am on a different page than other people. I feel like I'm on another plane. I'm not saying I'm on a higher or a lower plane. I just feel like I am disassociated from all of this anymore. It literally feels like I'm in a dream that I don't know. It's really hard to explain what I mean to people. And this is why someone like me, this is why I get so depressed, because I actually know the truth. I actually accepted how things really are here, and I know what's really going on. But yet, yes, I'm looking for alternatives too. I'm looking for people that are completely honest with themselves. I'm looking for people that are willing to put themselves out there on Front Street. I'm looking for people that are, when they are angry, they will tell you they're angry. I'm looking for people that because I'm looking for true human connection here. I am looking for true human connection. I don't want anything to do with this phony, fake, putting on, wearing a mask, acting like something's good when it isn't, putting this thing on. I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. Like, I am so done with it. But when I come around most people, I know that they are still attached to this world. They are still attached to all the things that they think will last forever and will go on. And it's just, we're fooling ourselves. We're fooling ourselves here. And if we could just get to that thing, if we could just discuss that, and we could resonate on that, and we could talk to each other about that, and we could get real with each other about that. You see, I want to be able to see my fellow brother or sister. I want to be able to come up to them and hug them and kiss them on their forehead and grab their face and look right at them and go, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. And you are here with me. And that is good enough. Now, even though life is going to throw what it throws at us, that's life. That's life. Now, how can we create our own heavenly abode while we are here if this is all that we get? But we know that it's not going to last forever. We know that we're going to get old. We know that we're not going to be able to have the strength forever. We're not going to be able to keep this up forever. But in the meantime, if there's no true human connection here, if there is no getting honest with ourselves, if there is none of that, then I don't want to live. I don't want to live life. I just don't want to do it. Because if I keep feeling that it's just me doing this all the time, if I feel like I'm the only one that's talking about this, then what is it worth living my life if I can't see the sunrise with another person? If I can't get honest with you and you can't get honest with me, and we can't look at each other like we are a reflection of one another. Like when you're looking in the mirror, you're looking at yourself, and yes, even though you're seeing all of the things that you might not want to see, you still see them. Even when you look in the mirror and you have something that is about you that you might not like, you talk about it and you say, well, why don't I like this? And just be honest with it. See, I want to be able to look at somebody and say, that's my reflection. I want to be able to look at someone and say, the reason why they're my reflection, or the reason they resonate with me, is because they know that I'm not lying to them. They know that I'm not putting on for them. They know that this is not a show. This is real life. And that's just one thing out of so many things on my mind all the time. And I got this stinking thing on my leg that itches like freaking crazy. Yeah, but if it's the more that I go about these days and these weeks pass me by and I'm seeing all this, it's like I'm ready to leave it. I'm ready to break away. I'm ready to go do my own thing. I'm ready to start my own place, my own refuge, my own homestead. I'm ready to be in a place with other like-minded people. I don't want to be out here. I don't want to see people as strangers, or every time I come across someone, it is this interaction, and it's not real interaction. It's not really us really knowing one another. Because the reason why that can't happen with me is because there's too many people that are caught up thinking that they know when they don't know. They're not willing to say, I don't know. When you ask them a question like, do you believe in God? It's either yes, I believe in God, or no, I don't believe in God. Or do you believe in a creator, or something that has put this into action, or something bigger than us, something that is more intelligent, or something that I don't know. Maybe it's cells and tiny organisms and microscopic things that are God, because that's what makes all of this, right? So does that need a God to do that? Does that need a God? Do cells and organisms and all of the things, the building blocks of life, DNA, molecules, carbon, oxygen, H2O, all of that, does that need a creator? Does that need a God? Does that need something more to create what we see today? Do you understand what I'm saying? And look, I am just completely on the fence with this stuff. And I know I am a very, very contradicting person. I am a contradiction because I can't make up my mind. Because I don't know, and I'm willing to say I don't know. See, what will most people do when you ask a question or something? They'll just throw their 2 cents in, and they'll just tell you what they think they know. See, this is the problem. This is our pride. This is our ego. This is all the things that we were once told, and we believed it, and we're still going off of that because that's what we're thinking. We haven't let all that stuff go. We haven't let all that die. We haven't said that was just something I was told from someone else, but that does not make it true. That does not make it that I know something because someone told me that. And if we don't understand that, and we don't see that, and we don't admit that to ourselves, then we are assuming that we know. We're assuming that we know that there is something that did this. We're assuming that we know that when we die, there's going to be something else. We assume that we know all these things that we really don't know. We're just assuming that we know. And this is the problem. This is the problem with most people, is that we do not know. And we're not willing to let that down. We're not willing to accept the fact that we don't know. And then we have everybody that assumes. We have everybody that thinks they're right. We have everybody that will give you some answer, and they do not know. You know, this is, to me, this is literally what is the word I'm looking for? I hate when I'm on camera and I do this, these words that I look for and I can't think of them, and they're not hard words. Not an abomination, but whatever the word is I'm looking for. But when someone says something like, God told me to tell you today. No. God did not tell you to tell me anything. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me, and just say that. Just say that. Why use God as the stepping stone? Why use God as your magic wand? Why use God in that way? It's blasphemy to me. That is literally, and I know when I use these words, people will go, blasphemy. Oh my gosh, that's like an ancient word. No, it's not an ancient word. It's what really goes on today. There is blasphemy coming out of people's mouths. There is abominations coming off of people's lips, and they don't even realize that they're doing this. They have an idea of what they're saying, but they don't care because they use God. They put God there, and they use who are we? I'm just saying if again. Look, don't forget that I am saying if. I'm just using this as an example. If there is a creator, if there is a God, who are we to say anything about what that thing is thinking, or what it truly is, or what it has planned, if it has anything planned? I'm just saying if. But when people say, God told me to tell you today, no. You're saying that. Just say, listen, this is what I think for you today. My mind told me to tell you this today. My metaphorical heart, because I care for you, told me to tell you this. But see, even that you got to be careful with, because you're giving people a false sense of hope. You're lying to people. You're saying that God told you something. You're using God as a magic wand to just say something, to say, oh, well, this is what's going to happen for you. And that is it's so wrong. It's not right to do to people. And I don't care. I am past, like I said, I am past what this world has to say about it, because I have looked into these things. I have examined these things. I have done so much research. I have looked into it for myself. I've done it. I even almost done these things myself, but I never said that. I never ever told anybody, God told me to tell you. I've never ever said that to anybody. Now, have I quoted scripture to people? Yes, because that's what I was really living by at that time. Have I went and witnessed to people about scripture? Yes. Have I told people about Jesus Christ? Yes. Have I learned something from that for myself in order to know what I know now? Yes. Am I religious? No, I'm not religious. Do I believe? No, I don't believe in anything but now. Like I said, I believe in now, because now is all there will ever be. There is nothing but now, right now. And most of us, we're not even in the now. We're not even in the now. We're thinking of something that will never even come. We're thinking like ahead or in the future. There's no such thing. It's never going to come. It's always going to be right now. No matter what you do, you can't skip ahead into the future, and you can't go into the past. And I know this is common sense stuff, but do we realize how much we delude ourselves with things, and we lie to ourselves, And this is corrupting ourselves. This is us leading ourselves into falsehood. This is us giving ourselves false hope. This is us lying to each other. This is us putting on for one another. And if you don't see it like that, then more than likely, I'm sorry to say, you're one of those people. You do those things. And I'm asking you, why are you doing those things? You're doing them because you don't want to get honest. You don't want to get brutally honest with yourself about things. And this is why we use all these things. This is why we say these things. Now let me get back. I don't want to sit here and start saying you and them. I want to talk about myself, because I realized lately I haven't been doing too many videos saying you, and this is the funny thing. Those videos get more likes when I say you, them, and see what that is. None of us want to reflect on ourselves. None of us want to take a deep look at ourselves. And this is why we can't have this is why we cannot have real human connection. This is why we cannot get brutally honest with each other. This is why we don't know of such a thing in this world. This is why nobody knows what that is, because nobody is doing it. Nobody is admitting it. Nobody is saying it to themselves. Nobody will get on camera and will expose their life. You see, they're hiding their life. They're hiding behind a mask and facade in life. They're not really showing you what they are, who they are, how they are, when they are what they are. And that is the truth. That is the truth. And I know if someone says something like, oh, well, and this is an excuse. This is an excuse when we do this. When we say something like, oh, well, everybody doesn't think like you. No, that's wrong, because if you understood what I'm saying, you wouldn't say something like that. You wouldn't say, not everybody thinks like you. This is reality I'm talking about. This is real life questioning I'm talking about. This is being honest I'm talking about. This is getting to the heart of the matter is what I'm talking about. This is exposing what people might not want to talk about because they're still scared of the world. They're still scared that they will not be approved of or they will not be accepted. Don't you see what is going on here? Can you not see what is going on in our world? Can you not see how fake most of this is, and plasticky and phony, and just the whole thing? It's just, yes, it's real. It's real. It's really going on. People are really talking. People are really having conversations. People are going to work. People are coming home. People are watching TV. People are on the internet. People are on the YouTube. People are watching my videos. But are you really listening to what I'm telling you? Are you really listening to this? Because if you're not listening, then that means that you are being interrupted. You're being misled by what other people are telling you, because they are feeding your ego here. They're feeding the fake side of you. They're feeding you with bullshit. They're feeding you with nonsense. They're feeding you with all of this. Be positive all the time, or be negative with me all the time. Don't you understand? They are both dishonest. They are both dishonest beings, both of them. Anyone that tells you all the time everything's negative, everything sucks, everything is gonna suck, everything is bad, cut those people off. Anybody that tells you positive things all the time, oh, well, don't talk that way. Why do you say that? do what we're doing, jump on the positive train of everything. See, both of these people, they are one-sided, gullible. They are people that don't understand the yin and yang of things. They don't understand the polar oppositions of everything. They don't understand what life is really, 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 really about. They're just so caught up on the one side, because on the one side they can blame and they can judge and they can point the finger and they can say I'm better than, and they can act like they're better than, and they can do all these things. They can compare themselves. They can put on. Don't you see? It's like this beauty pageant of fakery. It's like this one-sided beauty pageant of fakery that people are putting the emblems and the words and the labels and all that and saying, look, I'm this thing, or I'm this thing. Look at me, mother. And they're those things. And see, this is the most confusing part to me, is that in order for me to put my finger on what I'm telling you, it's almost impossible, because you either get it or you don't get it. And if you get it, you get it. And I'm glad you get it with me, because that means that we can have some kind of true connection here. We can understand each other. We can have some of that while we're on this earth. You know, don't you want that? Isn't that what you're looking for? Aren't you looking for someone to be real with you? Are you not looking for someone to tell you the truth? Are you not looking for someone to come up to you and grab you by the head and go, I understand, I'm here with you, and give you a kiss on the cheek or the forehead and say, I'm here with you and you're here with me? Don't you want that? Isn't that what we're all looking for and seeking? Yet we keep running away from it, running away from it, running away from it. And there's no need for us to run away from anything. Running away is not facing the truth. Running away from things is being dishonest with yourself. Running away from things is not letting go of the fact how things really are here. And when we do that, it's not this thing where you're questioning and you're saying, well, I don't know. And it's fine that I don't know. Oh, well, is there a God? I don't know if there's a God. But if there's a God, then I'm just going to say, look, that thing is in control. I'm not in control of shit here. I can't control the rivers flowing. I can't control the moon being in the sky. I can't control the waves in the sea. I can't control the animals out here doing what they're doing. Don't you understand how powerless we are here? And when you understand how powerless you are, and you understand how the only control you have is over the decisions you make, is over the fact that, will you let go of the bullshit? Are you tired of the bullshit? Are you tired of being fake for people? Are you tired for putting on for people? Are you sick of this old stinking, dirty, putrid mask that you've been wearing your whole life? Are you tired of that yet? If not, then you're still going to be wearing it. You're still going to be seeking things out here and looking for people to give you these superstitious answers and to tell you all these things to make you think something. See, they're giving you false hope. I don't give you false hope. I give you what is real. I give you what is honest. I give you what is tried and true. I give you the most raw form, unedited. There's no faking in my game. There's no putting on in my game. And see, if someone's doing that, of course, they're going to hate what I'm saying because they're not understanding what I'm saying. They're on the complete opposite side of the spectrum not understanding that if they would understand this side of the spectrum, then we could understand each other and we could get over these petty, stupid things we do, these stupid, petty things we say, the way we live, the way we do things, the dumb things we do to each other, the comparing we do. We could stop doing that and we wouldn't be in a world like that. But most people, they don't want it to stop because they don't know how to make it stop, because they're not thinking of it. They have not yet put themselves in the shoes of it. They don't want to say, well, look, this is how I used to be. It's not how I am today. Let it go. Let it go. You're gonna see as you go on in life. I don't know how old some of you are out there, but you are gonna see that I have never lied to you. I have been in my purest form with you. This is my purest form. And I am in the eternal aspect of the mind and the body. And if there is a soul, I am in the eternal energy soul. I am in that, and I know that I'm in that because I'm not lying to you. I'm not putting on for you. I'm not telling you a whole bunch of unnecessary things to get you to think a certain way. I'm not telling you to be a certain way. I'm not convincing you of anything. I'm just speaking to you like a human being. I'm speaking to you like you are my reflection. I'm speaking to you as if I was speaking to myself in a room by myself, bare naked, with no clothes, nothing to hide behind. I am not hiding behind anything anymore. Are you still hiding behind something? That's the question. And when you're hiding, see, this is what I said earlier in my video. It said something about you're hiding your true form. You're hiding your true self behind this ego, behind this mask, behind this putting on for people. You're hiding that. And with that, that creates fear. That is creating your fear by hiding yourself. You're creating the fear instead of facing the fear. Do you understand? And if you don't face it, if you don't get real with yourself, if you don't start coming out of your own closet, then you're going to be in that dark closet for the rest of your life. And it's going to be this thing where you're battling yourself over bullshit. You're trying to get somewhere when there's nowhere to get but to yourself. You're not accepting the real you. You're not accepting you for just being you. You are what you are. You can't make yourself anything else. See, this is all the bullshit they're throwing at you every day. Every day, people are throwing this nonsense at you, and they're trying to get you to be more of something. They're trying to get you to try more. They're trying to get you to say you need more things here in order to live a content life. And it's all bullshit, people. It's all a lie. It's a construct in their mind that they were manipulated with, but they don't realize how much they've been manipulated by it. And then I have to get on here and talk about it because I know what's really going on. I seen behind that brick wall. I seen behind that fake brick wall. And it's all fake. When you break down the mask and the facade and the ego and the putting on and the acting like you're something, trying to be something, what you will see there is something so ugly, is something so not real. It's something that is disgusting when you see it. And this is not that. I am not ashamed of this. I am not ashamed of anything I'm doing. I'm just ashamed what I see in other people sometimes. I am ashamed what I see them believing and how they respond and how they react, because I know why they're doing that. Because they're not understanding itself. They're not willing to be absolutely real. And if you're not, then that means you're being fake. If you're not being honest, that means you're lying about something. It's that plain and simple. There are no in-betweens with this. It's you either are or you aren't. And look, as I'm saying this, this is something else that the world cannot understand. There does not have to be some climax to this. There does not need to be a fairy tale ending to this. Now, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking of, okay, well, as I'm saying there's no fairy tale ending to this, then you might be thinking, if you're really smart and you're really thinking about what I said, then you would go, well, I thought you said that you're scared of death and you want there to be something else and you don't want it to be the end. And you want to know that you're doing this for some reason, that there's some eternal aspect to it. Yes, I do want to think that. Because of my own fear, I want to think that. Do you understand? It's because I'm fearful that I want to believe that and think that. It's because of fear. It's the hidden thing in me that's why I'm speaking about it, because I don't want to hide it. Because if I hide it, then it's going to create more fear back onto myself. Do you understand? And yes, I do. If I'm being absolutely honest with you, I don't want this to be it. I want there to be something. I do want there to be paradise. I do want there to be something that we could never imagine. I do want there to be a thing, an instrument in front of me that has millions of tones and millions of sounds, and it has these things we never heard before, and there's these fruits and these trees that we've never eaten, and it's something that is so delicious that we want to eat it for an eternity. And there's these women that are so beautiful and so well put together, and their breasts are perfect, and their body is just the way I want it. You know, yes, I want there to be something like that. We all desire something like that. We all desire a heavenly abode, a kingdom that we can reside in. We all want that. So why don't we do it while we're here? Why is nobody? We all want it. We all say this is what I want, but none of us do it because all of us were into the bullshit. We're into the freaking TV, the news that is just pumping out negative shit all the time. It's nothing. It's the same thing everywhere you go. You ask somebody, all you have to do if you're someone like me is ask somebody, what do you do? What do you do in your life? And they can't give you an answer because they have no vision for themselves. It's this thing where they've been being bombarded by so much bullshit, by so many lies, by so many misleading false concepts that they don't know how to think for themselves. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We are not in the mindset of creating our own abodes and making our own homesteads and creating our own homes and planting our own foods and experimenting with medicinal things for ourselves. Because for me, what I see the future as, I see the future being good drugs for each other. I see the future as something creative, something artistic, something of a craft, something of a place where people can go and be people. We don't need to keep this bullshit going that's going, this comparing. Oh, I'm on the left or I'm on the right. I'm Republican or Democrat. All of that is for foolish people. That is for people that are caught up in the epitome of a fake matrix and they don't know it. They don't even see it. They're blind to it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm waking you up from this. And trust me, when you wake up from this, it is going to feel like you are literally dying. You're going to be depressed. You're going to feel like you're alone. You're going to feel like everything got ripped away from you because it's the deconditioning going, it's the conditioning being deconditioned. It's the conditioning going from you. And that's what I have been going through the last couple of years. I have been deprogramming, deconditioning, de-indoctrinating, de-brainwashing my mind from all this stuff. And what I have found is I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that I don't have a lot of time here. I don't have a lot of time to create the life that I want to create for myself. I don't have a lot of time to do that. And do you even think like this? Are you even thinking like this out there? Is the question I'm asking. Are you even looking at things like this? Or are you so hell-bent on watching entertainment and watching the news and watching the politics and watching everybody live this false reality that they so desperately are holding on to and trying to make work, and they know that it doesn't work, but they're still trying to make it work. And it doesn't work. What is it doing? What has it done for anybody but cause more confusion, more drama, more deaths, more people committing violence towards one another, more chaos, more unnecessary drama? What has it done? What has it done? And see, this is where the anger sets in. Because, see, there's nothing wrong with anger. There's nothing wrong with anger. If you can use your anger as a tool, your anger is a good thing. Your anger is something. Don't let anybody tell you you're wrong for being angry, but are you using your anger as a tool is the question. See, are you using your anger to be an outlet to discuss these things is the question. Are you using your anger to get on a video and expose the stupid shit, expose the dumb stuff, expose the lies, expose the life that we think we have to live that we don't have to live, but we've been trained, conditioned, programmed, indoctrinated, brainwashed, propagandized with all of these things. All of these things, and most of us, that's what we're still living by, and we're still believing in, and we're still thinking is real, and it's not real. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. All of it is a lie. The only thing that matters in this system that we are in, the only thing that matters with the America that I appreciate is the food stores, the highways, and the homes we live in. That is it. And the doctors that we go to that actually help you. I'm not talking about the quack doctors, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of quack doctors you go to, and they don't do nothing to help you. They just want to throw anxiety medication at you. They just want to throw some kind of, if you're overweight, they just want to throw some kind of medication that does nothing to make you lose weight, does nothing to get you on a healthy diet. It does nothing for you. And that's the only thing that matters in this American system that we're living in, is the food stores, the highways to get back and forth, health care, and the homes we live in. But we can do most of that ourselves. We don't need to rely on this system anymore. The system does not need to be in place for us. Do you understand this? Do you get what I'm telling you? Even though I'm not doing it right now myself, it is going to happen, because there is nowhere left to turn. There is nowhere left for me to go. I am literally at a dead end, and I've been in a dead end for a while. And what I have to do is I have to turn around and say, this is not working. It will never work. Listen, I'm telling you, We have created this thing, and nobody is willing to take responsibility. Nobody is willing to be accountable for what we have created and own up to it and say, look, it hasn't worked. It isn't working. It's not doing anything for us as people. And look at what's happening. Look at what you hear every day. Look at the things that are going on. I mean, if I have to explain this to you, then you're not really seeing things. You're in denial, or you're oblivious. You're gullibly oblivious if you're not seeing what I'm saying here. Because here's what's going to happen. Trust when I tell you this. Trust when I tell you this. I see the painting on the wall. It's right on the wall, right in front of us. It's painted all over the wall. Social media, here's what's going to happen with social media and most of the things like politics and people's channels and all this. This is what's going to happen. The future will be blame. The future will be, there was 3 things that I had. I can't remember all 3 of them, but give me a second to think about them. One is blame. Another one is, damn it, I wanted to remember this for this video. See, these things slip my mind because I'm doing this raw. I'm doing this unedited, and I'm not thinking of this. Blame, I had 2 other things. I don't remember what I said, but it is going to be this thing where it's going to implode on itself. It's going to be everybody saying it's everybody else's fault. It's going to be everybody saying you're the reason why this is happening, and nobody will take accountability for why things are the way they are. They will not take responsibility for it. And damn it, if you have patience and you're someone that really wants to learn understanding itself for yourself, then give me 1 second to actually sit here and think of the 3 things that I wrote. It's blame. It's like blame, criticize. I don't know. I can't remember them. Now see, I hate when I do that. I hate that I can't remember things that I want to say. That is something that really bothers me. It really, really bothers me when I had this written down and I came out here and that's what I wanted to end the video with and I can't remember. So there you go. See that? Now that is a true mistake. That is an honest mistake. You see, there is no such thing as mistakes. There is no such thing as mistakes. Mistakes are just trying to live up to another person's standards. A mistake is just thinking that you did something that won't be accepted from other people. You've never made a mistake in your life. You might have made a mistake on a math quiz or measuring a bridge or like a little walkway or something. Yeah, you might have made that mistake with building something. But you've never made a mistake in your life besides doing stupid things that didn't need to be done. But yeah, that's what the future is going to be. The future is going to be blaming other people, saying it's everybody else's fault, playing the victim with everything. That's what it's going to be if we don't look at what we're doing to each other and ourselves. But we got to look at what we're doing to ourselves first. We have to look at ourselves first and be able to call these things out. And I know this went off topic from what I was talking about, but it goes hand in hand with what I'm saying as a person. And I asked everybody on here, I had 23 people answer, and I said, what would you prefer me to do? And 75% of you told me to talk about what I want to talk about or do what I want to do. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that you said that, because that means you're really listening and you're taking me as I am. You are accepting me as the person that I am. You're not wanting me to be something that I'm not for you. So that's That's the best thing that it can be right now, is that. Because I'm not going to bullshit you, and I'm not going to lie to you. And this should be something, I would be excited to hear another YouTuber talk like I do. I would be excited to hear another person like me speaking. You know, because that's how I look at it. I look at it like I want to hear a reflection of myself. And I know that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for reflections of ourselves. We're all looking for ourselves, really, if you think about it. And, you know, it even says this. That if there is, it said God created man in his likeness. You know, God created man in his likeness, in his image, you know, because it's almost like, but we don't look at it like that. We don't look at it like that with each other. We look at each other like we are somehow better than each other. We're always comparing one another. I don't have a problem with fair sport. I don't have a problem with saying, oh, well, I can make an instrumental that is, you know, more groovy than yours, or is not even more groovy, just I can make an instrumental that we really feel and is energetic and we're into it. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But leave it at that. Leave it as a sport. Leave it as some form of real entertainment, you see, not this bullshit kind of entertainment that most of the TV is playing, where it's this, oh, well, this person won, so now we gotta glorify them and put them on a pedestal, and we have to idolize them and idolize the popular things. See, I will always more than likely be an underground person. I will more than likely be an underground artist, an underground musician, an underground writer, like Charles Bukowski and other people. I'm probably more than likely, I don't know. I know that I could be, though, for myself, like George Carlin, Bill Hicks, but I'm not a comedian. I could be a comedian if I wanted to be. I could be that too. And I could be an actor. I could be anything that I want to be, because I know I could be those things, because that's what I really want to be too. I want to be an actor. I want to go and act. I want to go and make music just make music. Just make sound that people feel, they get energized by. And yeah, I'm telling you, man, this is the future. If we do not take an honest look at ourselves, the future will literally be blaming other people. It will be this implosion of, I am better than, you are wrong and I am right. It's what's going on today. It's exactly what's going on today with all this bullshit you hear. Like genders and race and feminism and just all this stuff. What's the man one called? I don't even know what these things are, because I don't really focus on that kind of stuff. What is a man called? Not feminine and masculine. You know, it's like, I don't give a shit about any of that. I am what I am because that's what I am. I come as I am. I don't try to act like I'm a tough guy or put on this thing for women. You know, this is another stupid thing. This is just another example. Like, if you're a man that hates women, you are blind and gullible. If you are a woman that hates men, you are blind and gullible. You are being misled by what they are telling you. You're being misled by all of these things other people are telling you, because that's what you've been conditioned to think yet again. And you don't realize you're going by the conditioning all the time. Do you realize that's what you're doing? When you say, oh, I can't stand women because of this. No, that's not women. You just had somebody tell you something, or you had one woman do something before, and now you're looking at all the women like they're like that. Or if you're a man or a woman and had this happen, then you're looking at all the men like they're like that because one man did something. That's not real. That's not how it really is, you know? And that's not fair to say, oh, because this person did this, everybody that resembles them or looks like them or has the same color as them, I'm going to right away assume that they're like that. And that's not fair at all to do that. So anyway, when I go up in my room and when I get in the comment section, I will write to you what I said the future will be if we don't start getting honest with ourselves, if we don't start asking the hard questions of life, if we don't start being willing to expose all of this for what it really is or move on from it and let it go, then this is what it's going to be. This is what is going to happen. I'm telling you, it's what's going to happen. And I will write the other two things down so that I can tell you what it is. Because I know, I've seen the painting on the wall. I know what the things are. I can see it. I can see it all on the wall in the future. I can just see what's going to come of this because I see what's really going on. I'm being honest with what's going on. I'm not holding back with what's going on. And this all correlates in with what I mean of when I'm talking about these questions that I ask. This kind of existential dread that I have. It all goes into that. It all plays a part into what I'm saying in that topic. But see, at this point, people that don't have an attention span, they're not going to be listening to what I'm saying. People that can't listen to someone for a while, they're never going to get to the middle or the ending of my videos to really get what I'm saying to them. And if you don't get what I'm saying, then more than likely we're going to go our whole lives doing something we don't want to do. We're going to be around people that don't really care for us. We're going to keep having to live a life we don't want to live. We're going to keep acting like something for other people. Are you not tired of doing that? Are you not tired yet? And I know a lot of you youngins, you got to learn before you understand. And I know when I was younger, I wouldn't have listened to none of this. I wouldn't have listened to what I'm saying because I wouldn't have known what I was saying. I couldn't have understood it because I couldn't have went through enough experiences. I couldn't have seen it enough. I couldn't have studied it enough. I couldn't have been skeptical enough. I couldn't have asked myself enough questions or looked into things enough to know it. And I would have been blind. I wouldn't have understood it. And therefore, I would have been in fear of it and I wouldn't have watched it. I wouldn't have listened to it. And what am I saying? What am I saying in all this? I'm just saying it how it really is. That's all. I'm just speaking it for what it really is. Plain and simple. That's what it is. I'm not adding anything extra. I'm not trying to influence you to do more of anything. I'm not saying be this way or that way. I'm not saying, oh yeah, God told me to tell you or something superstitious. I'm not putting any of that on you because that's not how I am. I want you to come as you are in your bare nakedness to me. And that's what I want to do with other people. But I feel like I can't do that with most people because if I do that, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. They're going to go, well, I don't know how to handle that. I don't know what to do. But all you had to do was let it go. All you had to do was let it down. All you had to do was give up on the bullshit. And all you had to do was see it for what it really is and be honest with yourself. But a lot of us weren't doing that. And then we got to keep putting this thing up and we keep hiding behind jargon. We keep hiding behind our ego. We keep hiding behind our pride. We keep hiding behind the false sense and this false sense of hope that everybody's telling us. And it's all bullshit. It's all a lie. And until you can understand that, then you cannot understand the real you. The you that has been you all along without all the conditioning, without all the programming, without all the lies, without all the brainwashing, without all the TV indoctrination, without the TV programming, without the social media stuff, without the politics, without all that stuff. See, you got to get rid of all of that stuff. All of it. If you don't get rid of all of it, then you're going to be caught up in it. Don't you understand? It's all a lie. It's all nonsense. It is all nonsensical. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for us but make us compare one another, make us be violent towards one another. That's all that it does. That is all that it does. And there's a lot of people, they love that chaos. They love that unnecessary drama. They love having that hatred. They love comparing themselves to one another. And that's what they do. They are programmed robots. They are drooling idiots. That's all they know how to do. But we don't have to do that. 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 Say it with me. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that because we know it's fake. We know it's fake. We know it's not real. We know it's not real. We know it's a facade. We know it's a facade. We know they're putting on. We know they're putting on. And until we can say that to each other and ourselves, then the bullshit will persist, the fakeness will persist, the phoniness will persist, the lies will persist, the ego will persist, the false hope will persist, the lying to each other and ourselves will persist. All of those things will persist, and it'll never be nothing authentic. It'll never be nothing genuine. It'll never be true human connection. It will never be something real and honest and not putting on. And when things need done, get it done. And when you're having a bad day, say you're having a bad day. All of those things, we're not going to ever be able to do that until we understand this kind of understanding. And it's not a kind of understanding. It's understanding itself. It's literally what I am speaking here. If you are someone that says, I want to understand, I want to gain knowledge, I want to know the truth, this is it. This is it right here. You found it. So don't tell me that you want to understand and you want to know knowledge and you want to know the truth, then you don't listen to it. See, this is what really pisses me off too, is when people say that kind of stuff. It angers me. It makes me mad when they say, well, what's the truth? Well, I want to understand. I want knowledge. I'm telling you what it is. I'm literally telling you what it is. But see, there's a lot of people, they're not ready for it because they're still chasing all of these delusions in the world. They're still chasing the bullshit. They're still chasing false perceptions. They're still chasing false hopes and false realities in their mind. They're still chasing what they think other people will approve of. They're still chasing after this thing that I gotta be this for them. They're chasing their own ambitions. You don't need ambitions to be who you really are, to come as you are. You don't need any of that. That is all extra baggage in your life. It's extra baggage. I'm literally on here to tell you, get rid of your extra baggage. You don't need all that extra baggage in your life. You don't need it. Why carry this for the world and other people? Why keep doing that? So anyway, I'm going to end the video on that note. I will write in the comments as soon as I get upstairs and I upload the video. I will write what the future will be if we do not get honest with each other and ourselves, and we do not confront reality, and we do not get real, get genuine with things. I'm telling you, this is painted all over the wall. I've seen it. I know it. And if you're any person that is really in the realm of the true self energy, like I'm not speaking no kind of superstition or anything here. I'm telling you reality and truth itself. If you are not with the the true, the honest energy of your real self to come as you are, this is not going to be something for you, because you're still chasing a lie. You're still chasing false perception. You're still chasing false ego to put on for people. You're still chasing ambitions. You're still chasing these answers that are out there. There are no answers out there. There's no answers. This is the answer. The answer itself is now. That's the answer. And understanding what it is I'm speaking about in these videos. That is the answer to your life, is being honest with yourself, is putting it how it really is exposing all of the bullshit that has been forced upon you and all these other things. But you have to realize it for yourself first. I can't make you realize those things. So that's why I speak about them. Because I know it's just not me. I know that it's just not me thinking these things. I know it's just not me. It can't just not only be me. There's no way it can only be me. I know there's others out there. I just haven't found them yet. That's all. And I'm not looking for them. I'm letting it come naturally. I'm letting it come as it is. I'm not forcing it. I'm not going and searching for it. I'm just letting it come. So with all that, I'm going to let this video go. I'm off of it. It's over. It's in oblivion. And, you know, it's another now to keep going. So that's all it is. So listen, if y'all do get this far in my videos, if you want to support my channel, please like the video or help by tipping the channel. That's all I can ask. Do one of those two things, like the video or tip the channel. That is the way that you can help support me, and how you can support something real is by doing that. Even though you know I don't worship money, I wish there wasn't even money. I wish we didn't even need to have money, you know. If there was a way to get rid of all that and get away from it, which there is a way. There is really a way, but a lot of us will never do it because we don't think that we can build our own thing. So that's why we keep needing this money. But we can make food. We can build a house. We can do those things if we really want to do it. Do you know that? Do you know that? I'm just ending it on that note. Do you know that? You do not need all of this money like people say we do. You might need some to get like the material things sometimes, but you really, really, really don't need it when you're someone that understands you can build something for yourself. But like I said, very few people will do that anyway. So, you know, that is a very minimalistic, a very seldom thing that happens with people. It's a minority, you know, minority report of people. But I'll let y'all go with that. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, take care of yourself and be real with yourself, all right? I'm here with you, and I understand if you got this far. I'm with you. Always remember that.